Here's something that you could eat as a breakfast or a snack. It's basically toast. Then I put cream cheese. Then I put some avocado. Put these grape tomatoes cut in half on top. And it looks pretty and it tastes good. Hey y'all, so you guys helped me or watched me transplant Tippy yesterday. I didn't get to put the gravel on the top yet because it's still kind of moist, so maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Alright, for those of you who've been following and are interested in Tippy's journey, he's come a long way. Hey y'all, so right now I am just chilling. I am reading a book that I got for I think $1 or $2 from a garage sale a while back. Like early this year. No, sorry. The beginning of summer. It doesn't even matter. But anyways, this book is very interesting. It gives cool tips, you know, whether it be about like physical things or emotional things. So it's pretty interesting. It's like over 10 years old. It's almost like 15 years old. So some of these tips may be outdated, but you know, you could still do your own research. Some of the stuff, some of the remedies and things like that, or things that they talk about, are still helpful today. And I didn't get to put the gravel thing that I was saying in the previous vlog because Tippy's soil is so moist and wet and I need it to be a little more drier. And I just did this little contraption with tissue paper to cover it because I didn't want to use a bag to keep in the moisture. So I think this is a good little DIY trick that I did. I basically just wrapped it around and closed it off so that any existing fruit flies around are not going to go in the soil, lay more eggs, and just have the cycle repeated. Okay, I don't want to keep changing the soil for Tippy. Like, I think it's too much. It's just too much. It's just messing with his roots like too much, and I'm not trying to kill him. So I'm gonna leave it at that. And yeah, so let's read a little bit from this book. I'm looking absolutely crazy. And yeah, so I'm going to read a little excerpt from this book. I thought it was a bit interesting and perhaps I could give you a little story time too. Okay, so this chapter is about how to turn stress into strengths. So I'm going to read you like this little part. It says, be assertive. So a person who is unassertive is a people pleaser, which is someone who doesn't like to say no for fear of others won't like him or her. If you feel you have to say yes to too many things, you'll get overloaded. Unassertive people are usually angry inside. When overloaded, they blow their tops. Others feel this anger and become uncomfortable, which then they push the unassertive person away. Be assertive to make your work life go well. If there are problems at work, decide what needs to be changed and how. Then talk to your boss. Tell him you need feedback to do your best work. Very interesting. And it seems true. Okay, so let's talk about, if there are problems at work, decide what needs to be changed and how. Then talk to your boss. Tell me you need feedback. Okay. So, little story time. I remember back in the day, I worked in a retail commission-based setting, and yeah, it was like for beauty. It was like a beauty industry, like makeup and what have you, and like perfumes and stuff. So I remember getting hired like the same day, pretty much. Sorry, I sound nasally, y'all, but getting hired the same day. Then I had to do training and then finally get to work my first official shift. Like, it's exciting. I find it exciting. So first day of the shift, you know, you get to meet other people, you get to learn more about the products, etc. So I'm looking forward to it. I remember coming into the first day, I had to overlap a shift with another employee. And it was the first time, so it's my first day, right? Everything should be cool and fine and smooth. And I remember we had to overlap, so she was working like to a certain time, and we were overlapped, like working together for about 2 hours or 3 hours, and then after that I'm on my own. So during that overlap period, customers were coming in, and I remember this one particular customer came to me asking me for help, my suggestions, and what have you. And literally in mid conversation, the other employee comes over and literally steals the customer. Literally. The product that I was showing the customer, she literally came and said, "Oh yeah, that one's okay, but here, let me show you a better one." So to me, on my first day, I'm thinking, oh, like this employee, she's very nice because she's trying to help me by, showing this customer a better product. And then, I'm expecting the customer to come back to me after the other employee showed her like this item. Like maybe I just didn't know about it, right? So I'm thinking, okay, cool. Like I don't blame the customer for, going with her to see this better product, but I was hoping that she would come back. So anyways, the customer just followed the other employee. I followed behind, expecting her to, come back to me, and that didn't happen. The other employee literally kept upselling, recommending this product, that product, oh, this, that, blah, blah, blah. And at the end of it, I'm like, okay, so I guess I'm gonna be able to cash this lady out because initially she was my customer. So I'm expecting to cash the customer out, thinking that the other employee was helping me, right? I was totally wrong. She ended up cashing out that customer and left me in the dust, basically. So I was feeling bothered for sure, hands down bothered. But I'm thinking to myself, maybe I don't have all the facts straight. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe they didn't tell me the rules and regulations of how this commission world works, at this particular establishment. So I was thinking to myself, let me just get all the facts straight. Let me just ask the manager what the procedure is. How does it work? Can an employee steal another employee's customer right in front of them? Like, how does it work? How does commission base work? Can it be separated? Blah, blah, blah. So after that situation, I was going to confront the employee, I was feeling to say something, but I wanted to get my facts straight first and foremost and speak to the manager to find out, how everything works exactly. So that day, it was like, okay, let me just get over it. It's my first day, can't expect too much. Fast forward, I asked the manager, I said, how does it work here? At this particular store, the commission, how does it work? Or what happens if an employee takes another employee's customer, like right in front of their face? Like, is that something that you guys allow? Is there a workaround toward it, etc.? What are the details? And she's like, no, we don't steal other employees' customers like that. We don't do that. If anything, it would be to help the initial employee, get a bigger sale and sell more items. And I was like, oh, okay. I guess she could sense a certain feeling of uneasiness because she was like, why? What's wrong? What happened? I was just like, I'm not trying to make any drama or anything. I just want to get the facts straight. But I will tell you that, this person, this employee literally stole a customer right in front of me and mid-conversation, and I thought that was very rude and unprofessional. And I wasn't sure how you guys went about commission and, quote, stealing customers. So I just want to get that I just want to get that clarified before anything. And she was like, yeah, we don't do that. We don't do that. And she said, I'll have a word with so and so. And I said, okay. I said, that's fine. And I also want to do it for the greater good, in the sense of, if other employees get hired and they get that same kind of treatment from that particular employee, then they can the manager has some kind of gauge as to what kind of employee they have on their hands. Okay, so, but for the most part, it was like, it was a personal situation. It was ultimately something I wanted to clarify and set from the get-go. You want to set that tone from the get-go, like you're not about this BS. You're not going to be stepped on just because you're new. Because I'm not new to the retail industry, nor am I new to commission-based, nor am I new to good customer service. Okay, I'm an advocate for good customer service. That's just me. Anyways, fast forward to, I was looking for the day that the other employee and I would work together, because I want to see if she was going to bring it up, approach the situation, talk about it. And that day came. So she was working and I came in for my shift, and I remember walking in and she literally like kind of hurried to like come toward me. She came like kind of fast toward me, and she's like, hey, she's like, yeah, the last time the shift we were working, you felt like I stole your customer. I wasn't trying to steal your customer. I was just trying to help and show the better products. And then they were asking me questions. Just a lot of this, just a lot of justification, just a lot of blah 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 blah. Like, I didn't hear an apology. I didn't hear sorry. I didn't hear any of that. And for me, there's like a certain respect. If you were to apologize and admit that you blatantly stole a customer in front of my face, and you apologize, we can overcome that. I can overcome that and overlook it and start really fresh. But no, they did not apologize. They did not apologize. They were not sincere. And I could sense that energy. I could sense that they were greedy. I could sense, the personality and like other little traits that I could see for myself. And I was just like, I'm not connecting with this energy. And when I don't connect with that type of energy or that good vibration, I am just not going to talk to you and get to know you. I am going to stay far away from you, okay? So in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, I hear her out. I was like, okay, I'm not going to tell the manager, hey, don't book me with this person, because at the end of the day, we're there to work, and I'm not going to say, make sure we're not working together. It didn't get to that point, and I'm just like, I just know how to deal with certain people in that regard, because we do end up working together in the future, and I just stay in my area and she stays in her area. I don't make small talk. I don't ask if you want a coffee or tea while I'm on my break or lunch, because I'm nice, and I just won't do those things. And I just already know where to put you. Like, you stay in that box, okay? You stay in that box of, you're greedy, you're mean, you don't care, you make excuses. Stay over there, okay? So from what the be assertive part, I feel like it's true. If there are problems at work, decide what you need to do. Do you need to speak up? Do you need clarification on certain things? It says talk to your boss. Okay, I had the talk. I explained the situation, because I'm new, right? So other employees are probably going to feel intimidated that you're new. They may feel like, oh, you're gonna get more hours, you're gonna get more sales, blah blah blah. Like they feel like a certain kind of intimidation, or they're feeling like they can bully you out. Okay, so suppose they need more hours and now you're being hired, now their hours are getting cut. So, there's all these different things to factor in. But at the end of the day, first day, there's a certain respect, and you can be firm about what you're going to put up with and what you're not going to put up with. What you pick your battles, okay? You pick and choose your own battles. And this is a battle that I needed to set from the get-go, that hey, just because I'm new does not mean you can step all over me and come and steal customers right beneath my nose and not have it addressed. Not happening. I just want to hear what this other employee had to say to my face. And when she told me all those excuses, I was like, okay. But I'm like, no, but you still stole the customer right in front of my face. Like, that was uncalled for. That was not needed. And you didn't need to do that, even though it's my first day. So you lay out what you're gonna put up with from the get-go in a composed, okay? Let's emphasize, in a composed and neutral manner. So I'm not going in there clapping. I'm not saying, getting rowdy. No, I'm not doing any of that. I don't need to go all out like that. So a composed, firm manner, and just a neutral tone. If anything escalates, then it's another story. But approaching a situation, especially when you're a new employee, you could say it in a professional and business manner. Just keep composed, right? Because as a new employee, you're still on probation, and probation period, I believe, is still 3 months. So between that 3 months, you could get laid off, fired, what have you, for any or even no reason, and a company doesn't have to give you any explanation or give you anything other than your last paycheck, okay, from what I understand. So you kind of have to be careful. If you go all crazy and loud and dramatic, blah blah blah, they could be like, we don't need that, at our establishment, at our work. We don't need that. Sorry, you're not fit. So that's my little story time. Be assertive. So I'm gonna go work on some other things. I want to read a little bit more of this book. Thank you so much for watching, and until then, I'll see you on the next one. It's your girl Jane JC. Toodles.